The old man spoke at length, and for some reason I heard him out. The voice of this strange old Siberiac sounded at first quietly confident, then very excited, and when he got excited, he would rub the piece of cedar with his fingertips, as though they were lightly tripping over some kind of musical instrument. It was cold on the riverbank. An autumn wind was blowing across the river. Gusts of wind ruffled the hair on the old men's capless heads, but the spokesman's jacket and shirt remained unbuttoned. His fingertips kept rubbing the cedar pendant on his chest, still exposed to the wind. He was still trying to explain its significance to me. Lydia Petronova, an employee from my firm, came down the gangplank to tell me that everyone else was already on board and waiting for me to finish my conversation. I bade farewell to the oldsters and quickly climbed aboard. I couldn't act on their request for two reasons. Delaying departure, especially for 3 days, would mean a significant financial loss. And besides, everything these fellows said seemed to me at the time to be in the realm of pure superstition. The next morning, during our usual company meeting, I suddenly noticed that Lydia Petronova was fingering a cedar pendant of her own. Later, she would tell me that after I'd gone aboard, she stayed behind for a while. She noticed that when I started hurrying away from them, the oldster that had been talking with me stared after me with a perplexed look, and then said excitedly to his older companion, "Now, how can that be? Why didn't they get it? I really don't know how to speak their language. I couldn't make them believe. I simply couldn't. Why? Tell me, father." The elder man put his hand on his son's shoulder and replied, "You weren't convincing enough, son. They didn't grasp it." As I was going up the gangplank, Lydia Petronova went on, "The old man that was talking with you suddenly rushed up to me, grabbed me by the arm and led me back down to the grass below. He hurriedly pulled out of his pocket a string, and attached to it was this piece of cedar wood. He put it around my neck and pressed it against my chest with the palm of both his hands and mine. I even felt a shiver go through my whole body. Somehow he managed to do all this very quickly, and I didn't even get a chance to say anything to him. As I was walking away, he called after me, 'Have a safe journey. Be happy. Please come again next year. All the best, people. We'll be waiting for you. Have a safe journey.' As the ship pulled away from the dock, the old fellow kept on waving at us for a long time, and then all at once sat down on the grass. I was watching him through a pair of binoculars. The old man that talked with you and later gave me the pendant, I saw him sit down on the grass and his shoulders were trembling. The older one with the long beard was bending over him and stroking his head. Amidst the flurry of my subsequent commercial dealings, account keeping and end-of-voyage farewell banquets, I completely forgot about the strange Siberian oldsters. Upon my return to Novosibirsk, I was afflicted with sharp pains. The diagnosis, a duodenal intestinal ulcer and osteochondrosis of the thoracic spine. In the quiet of the comfy hospital ward, I was cut off from the bustle of everyday life. My deluxe private room gave me an opportunity to calmly reflect on my 4-month expedition and to draw up a business plan for the future. But it seemed as though my memory relegated just about everything that had happened to the background, and for some reason the old men and what they said came to the forefront of my thought. I requested to have delivered to me in the hospital all sorts of literature on cedars. After comparing what I read with what I had heard, I became more and more amazed and began to actually believe that what the elders had said. There was at least some kind of truth in their words, or maybe the whole thing was true. In the books on folk medicine, there is a lot said about the cedar as a healing remedy. They say that everything from the tips of the needles to the bark is endowed with highly effective healing properties. The Siberian cedar wood has a beautiful appearance, and artistic wood carving masters enjoy great success in using it for furniture, as well as soundboards for musical instruments. Cedar nettles are highly capable of decontaminating the surrounding air. Cedar wood has a distinctive, pleasant balsam fragrance. A small cedar chip placed inside a house will keep moths away. In the popular science literature I read, it was said that the qualitative characteristics for the northern cedars were significantly higher than those grown in the south. Back in 1792, an academician, P.S. Pallas, wrote that the fruits of the Siberian cedar were effective in restoring youth and virility and significantly increasing the body's ability to withstand a number of diseases. There is a whole host of historical phenomena directly or indirectly linked to the Siberian cedar. Here is one of them.